their only loss so far. This is also one of the best teams in the state of Tennessee. So I don't know what they're going for, a CFP playoff spot or what they're trying to do down there in Huntington, but they're challenging the heck out of themselves.
Does it ever feel like 24 years? Do you ever sit back and think it feels like, sometimes I can't believe it's been 24 years, and I just think it feels like it's been a lot less.
And then there's other times I think,
yes,
it's only been 24 years?
Yeah, same thing.
I would love to go back, and I don't think I have I know I don't have any way to doing it.
No, I don't want to go back and hear the first show.
I would.
I would too.
I would love to go back and hear show number 1 of year number 1. We had different producers. We weren't on video.
Right.
A lot of things have changed over 24 years. But yeah, sometimes I think I'd like to go back and say, you guys never got any better at all.
So
as he approaches the tee and blasts one, a low line drive. It's going to be Tyler on the return now. And Tyler up the middle, trying to break a tackle, gets outside, look out, another big play, Tyler down the sideline, he will score, touchdown Frankfurt, they answer right back.
You know, I drove home one night, it was around 11:30 on a Sunday night, and I said, you know what, I've been doing this, and I'm tired of doing it. And I felt the program was slipping. I just felt, hey, you know what, it's time for a younger guy. People said, did I miss football? You know, I was busy and I didn't miss it. No, I missed Saturday. I'd go to the game and, you know, I'd just sit up there and kind of wish I was going to do this or that. But I didn't miss all day Sunday. I didn't miss all day Monday and all that preparation.
I don't believe what I just saw. Bill McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened-to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
And we welcome you to downtown Morgantown, MetroNews Radio and Television Network Studios, 26th day of July, 2026. It is the Sunday Night Sportsline from the Health Plan Studios. Travis Jones along with Greg Hunter with you until 8 o'clock tonight as we're just underway here on MetroNews Radio and the MetroNews Television app as we talk about another week that has come and gone in sports in the Mountain States. We continue to count down to the start of Mountaineer football camp. Not too far off now. Start of high school also, beginning a week from Monday. High school football practice will begin in the state of West Virginia. Coach Hunter is alongside. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. We did not phone each other ahead and wear the same shirt, did we?
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice.
Flopsy twins in here tonight.
There we go. Well, yeah, I'm glad we both decided to sport the flying WV. So, no, yours looks good. Mine, I'm lucky it doesn't have stains or something all over.
Yours is newer.
Yeah.
Though this is, I've had this shirt 15 years, I think.
Oh, very good.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't usually wear white. Me and white just
you got to
don't
wear
go
it before
well
Labor
together.
Day.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Just don't go well together. But as you said,
All right, well, refresh us on the calendar.
Yeah.
What's the countdown out here?
Well, like you said, high school starts Monday. And then college, they still have not released their exact start date and schedule, but I understand it's going to be August the 5th. So I think that's Tuesday of next week. So in terms of their practice schedule and time, and usually college starts a month before the opening game. And obviously West Virginia's opener is September 5th, so practice August 5th. But, one thing we can talk about as we move forward, Travis, is some of the changes in terms of practice and in recruiting calendar that the NCAA has put forth in the last week or so, which really are pretty significant to me in terms of what's going to happen. Not going to be any impact this year in either instance, and it's not going to really impact fall practices in the future, but spring practices as we know them very well could be making a major change starting next spring.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, we can certainly jump into that. I saw a tweet today, and before I just read it on the air is factual. Doing a little check here, but seems to be true. But this is the last Sunday until 2027 without football.
Wow.
Today.
Okay.
Yeah. So of course you've got NFL preseason beginning very, very soon. Matter of fact, don't let it sneak up on you here, but the first preseason game, I don't know how that's right. That can't be right because I don't think there's football next Sunday. That's why, because the preseason game is the first NFL preseason game. Obviously, the Hall of Fame game, I was trying to say, is the first preseason game. August the 6th falls on a Thursday.
Okay. So not next Sunday.
Maybe next Sunday is the last Sunday, unless you want to count the Canadian Football League, which I did watch last night.
Yeah, and
they're
there's several.
They're well into their season. I think they're weeks 4 or 5 already.
Several former Mountaineers in the CFL had a text just this afternoon pointing out that Brandon Yates, former Mountaineer offensive lineman, I believe he's in his second year with British Columbia. He's playing there, but we can go through a few of the others that are playing in the CFL, and then obviously camp's getting ready to open. We did have earlier this week Cam Huffman, Public Relations Director at the Greenbrier, on talking about, started out with a conversation about West Virginia's women's basketball game playing yet another game at the Greenbrier, this one going to be against Northwestern, but also the fact that the Greenbrier is going to be hosting an NFL training camp as they've done in the past, but it's not too far away from that one either, as the New York Giants are going to attend and stay at the Greenbrier for about a week, and that one is quickly coming up as well. I think it's July 30th, the first day that the Giants will be at the Greenbrier, and these sessions are open to the public, so they'll be there from Thursday the 30th through Friday August 7th. So if you're somewhere in the Greenbrier area, or if you don't mind making the trip over, opportunity to watch some NFL football in terms of training camp at the Greenbrier. No cost. The only thing is there is a cost for parking, and then you have to take a shuttle over to the actual practice fields. But you can. So we talk about NFL teams getting started. Well, one of those is getting started in the state of West Virginia, and then high school and college shortly thereafter.
Yeah, I think most NFL teams, if not all, will be in camp by midweek this coming week.
Yeah.
Of course, Carolina and Arizona already in camp because they're in the Hall of Fame, or the Hall of Fame game. So they'll kick it off on Thursday night, August the 6th, and then there's a full slate of games beginning on Thursday, August the 13th, and then we're off and running on preseason games. College football, real football games. Not that far off either. Of course, there's a week before West Virginia will play, And the first college games are coming up on August the 29th, so just a little over a month away. And pretty good Saturday slate, really, also for what they have deemed week 0, and including North Carolina and TCU, which will be the first college football game to kick off.
Yeah, that one is in Ireland, right?
Yep. Correct.
So West Virginia's never been involved in that week 0 game. Wouldn't mind that. I mean, it lengthens the season, but it also gives you an extra open date in a lot of ways. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'm not certain about the travel. I'm not sure. I think a lot of fans would be apprehensive, but those of us who could make the trip, boy, what a cool opportunity. But I do like the idea, definitely like the idea of week 0. If West Virginia could do it?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they haven't yet because, as you mentioned, it bakes in another off week for you.
Yeah.
So, and you can certainly control that with non-conference games. I'm not sure why that hasn't happened as of yet. It will
at some point. You know what? As I'm thinking back, I've got to go way back in the way back machine, but when West Virginia played the Kickoff Classic against Nebraska, so that would have been 94.
94,
right?
Yep.
Was that a week 0 type game?
I don't know. See, check the date. That'll probably tip us off.
Yeah.
Because back then you definitely didn't start till September.
Yeah.
For sure. While you're checking, Virginia, future Mountaineer opponent and an opponent earlier in the season, they will play a week 0 game against the Wolfpack of North Carolina State, and that game will be played in Charlottesville, and then they're off the next week. So they've got an early off week before they come back and play Norfolk State, and then, of course, West Virginia on September the 19th.
Yeah, that was a game that was originally scheduled to be played in Brazil, if people remember.
That's right. Yep. So this is a non-conference game.
Yeah, it got wiped out and got moved back to on campus because it never did quite give out the reasoning, but obviously there were some issues in trying to get that game in South America. So, by the way, that Nebraska game, which was in the Meadowlands in New York or New Jersey, was Saturday, August the 28th. So that, I believe, would have been a week 0 type of affair. West Virginia has played one, but it has been many, many years since that happened. Of course, that one didn't exactly go West Virginia's way. Nebraska pretty much just...
what was the date?
August 28th.
1994?
Yes. West Virginia got beat by after the year after West Virginia was trying to lay claim, and Nebraska did ultimately win it. The national championship, of course, the 93 team lost almost everybody significant to injuries. I mean, to graduation. So by 94, it was a completely different ball club. Nebraska 31-0. The only memorable moment from a Mountaineer side of things was the Todd Sauerbrunn punt. That'll tell you how badly that game went for West Virginia. So.
All right, so here you go. You have a very good memory.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only college football game played that day. That was actually a Sunday.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Then Monday, Ohio State beat Fresno 34-10. The rest of the slate kicked off on Thursday, September the 1st of that week. So that was unfortunately, the only show in town on ABC that day.
You got plenty of exposure, and good for Nebraska.
Yeah.
But, West Virginia, actually one of the best coaching jobs Don Nehlen ever did, because that was a team that turned around a really difficult start. After a 1-4 start, that team won 5 of their last 6 and ended up in a bowl game. So in a complete rebuilding year. So, and that was a heck. All right. Tommy Frazier was a quarterback for Nebraska.
Yep.
Lawrence Phillips was the running back. They have both rushed for over 120 yards. I mean, that was a stacked Nebraska team. So, and West Virginia was trying to rebuild. Chad Johnson had not yet taken over as the starting quarterback. Eric Boykin was, but Chad got some playing time, and eventually that club got to be pretty good. later in the season, but it took them a while.
Yep, certainly. As you mentioned, rough start for West Virginia that particular year. Matter of fact, started in 1-4 before they got hot, really starting with that Missouri game on October 1st in Morgantown. After that, West Virginia won, 7 of their final 9.
Mm-hmm. Off and running from there.
Yeah. With a loss to South Carolina, the CarQuest Bowl in 95. Remember, who was the quarterback of South Carolina?
Scott.
Yep.
Nope.
Starts with an S. I think he was on
Steve.
I think he was on their. I think he was a color analyst on their radio broadcast.
Really? I shouldn't have shut down my WVU stats.
It was Steve. Steve was the
Tannehill.
first name. Correct. Steve Tannehill. There you go.
Long blonde-haired guy. I think he was from Pennsylvania originally, but yeah.
Yeah, and I better double check myself because I'm thinking now. No, it was Steve Tannehill.
Nah,
because who was their quarterback? Well, so I'm going to ask a question I don't know the answer to. Who was their quarterback when they played here? When West Virginia beat them?
Ooh,
remember that?
Yes, I do. I can't remember who their quarterback was.
What was the year? That was 90.
Nah, you got me going again now.
I was in high school then. Might have been. Was that the 92 season? 91 season? All right, Coach Hunter, you check that.
I'm going hard.
Okay,
so you
sounds good. We're up on a break, so we'll as you can tell tonight, we're going to do a little potpourri. We'll jump around a little bit tonight. Can jump into there was a little bit of news from the NCAA this late in the week about the 5-for-5 eligibility rule, whether or not they were going to make any tweaks with the lawsuits going on. And they have responded back on that. But if you're hanging, we'll find out who the South Carolina quarterback was when they came here. And actually, I'm thinking now.
89.
It was 80. Okay.
Okay, so it was Major and Company. Todd Ellis.
That's right.
Todd Ellis was their quarterback. But, yeah, it was Major and Company, resounding Mountaineer victory, 45-21.
Very good. All right, 6:20. We'll take a break. Sportsline continues in a moment.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. For years, rural communities in West Virginia waited for reliable, high-speed internet. Now, fiber is most likely at your front door. Public investment helped build the opportunity, and CityNet delivered the service to homes and businesses just like yours. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can count on, switching to fiber has never been easier. Fast downloads, smooth streaming, better connections for work, school, and everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
It's good to have options for your family or employees. Rooted in your community since 1979, the health plan is your trusted partner. Get flexible coverage, exceptional support, and competitive rates.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniel's.
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024, and then I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
I wonder what age it was when I started losing my memory. I mean, it's yeah. I remember things now partially. So
Yeah,
that's I'm at that stage in life.
I go with you there.
Yeah. So Todd Ellis is their radio guy.
Yeah.
Not Steve Taney.
Who did play at West Virginia against West Virginia.
Yep, that's right. Who's Steve Taneyhill? And again, one of the things I remembered hearing and forgot. Actually passed away last year.
Yeah.
Cancer.
Yeah.
So.
No, beat the Mountaineers in whatever the Dolphin Stadium was called in that generation.
Yeah.
Bowl game that, there were a lot of bowl games that West Virginia lost in that time frame. And most of the time they played teams that were better than them. And West Virginia was a prohibitive underdog. That's when you look back on it and you go, that one made you cringe. I mean, nothing against Steve Taneyhill. He was a good quarterback, but West Virginia was a better football team.
Yeah, there were a few
mistakes.
in that long bowl losing streak stretch. The Insight.com Bowl comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
West Virginia lost to Missouri.
Yep.
That was one that, West Virginia drove right down the field, set up for a field goal. Had a real nice drive, but had to settle for a field goal, got blocked, returned for a touchdown. And never the same.
Got behind early, made this incredible run, but just way too far behind.
Yep. All right, a couple texts here. We'll get to those in this segment. Texter Chris in Elkview. I'm not seeing Best Virginia or heard that. Anything, TBT. What gives, please, and thank you. So I don't have a firm answer for you. I can certainly give you a couple theories. One, TBT restructured a little bit this year. If you've watched any of it, you've noticed that they basically have done something I think was a good idea, was they split off the alumni schools from the headhunter teams, basically.
Just the free agent clubs.
Yeah. So they've done two separate brackets, essentially. And they also upped the prize money to $2 million. I think when they did that, from what I can gather, leaving Charleston last year, we'd heard rumblings that West Virginia may not come back this year. Now, maybe at that point, I think John Flowers, who was their general manager, or involved, may have known already what the TBT was doing and knew that wasn't going to be something that West Virginia – because here's the thing you got to remember. You just don't call them and say, hey, we put a team together, we want to play.
Yeah.
There's an entry fee. It's a business. I mean, the TBT's trying to make money, obviously. And it wouldn't even be alive today if it wasn't for their TV contract. But if you notice, they're on their second network now. And, I like it. Has it run its course? Probably. It's probably getting towards the end of its shelf life at this point. But I think what you're seeing on the university side of the bracket, they basically got the teams that put the butts in the seats and probably got them the TV ratings. And those are the teams that at least hosted.
Yeah.
At least hosted. Your Wichita States, your Kentuckys, your Louisvilles, those type of teams. And anyway, they went away from less teams, and they also did best of three series with these teams. So Louisville, Kentucky played a best of three. Wichita, Kansas State's playing a best of 3. So I don't know that it'll come back. I'm not saying that I've not been told for sure that it won't come back next year with West Virginia, and heard that, but I do think that that's probably I don't think I'm too far off on some of the reasons.
No, I think you got a lot of that right, and I've heard similar things, and we'd heard last year, as you mentioned, that West Virginia probably was not going to be returning. Those that had put all their time and effort into organizing that had wanted to step away, and without them and their organizational skills, it was more difficult. So then with the changes that we saw this year, I think it, just sort of came about. And I don't know heard that story, but probably similar.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a lot of work for not any guaranteed money. I mean, there are business ways for all those clubs to make a little bit of money outside of just the final prize. But all those guys are pros, so they want to, you want a business deal.
Yeah,
and
certainly.
It may not necessarily be.
Yeah, with her that I know John Elmore was heavily involved. Of course, he's playing in the NBA Summer League.
Yep.
So. Continuing to chase that dream.
Neither are playing, so you certainly feel free to watch TBT. But I'll admit, I was much more tuned in when you had, especially West Virginia involved.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's something to watch if there's nothing else on. There's a game tonight at 7, as a matter of fact. All right, Texter, could you please tell us where we can find the WVRC Media radio promo for becoming an official WVU Sports Network again? It's pretty awesome. It's running on WVAQ. In Morgantown. I don't think it's anywhere that you can actually download it. It might just, throw you back to your teen years. You may have to call the radio station, request it, and try to tape it. So, I don't know of anywhere that you can access it online. Texter says they called it week 0 because West Virginia didn't score. Yeah, good. Yeah, good point. Good point. I think the kickoff classic game against Nebraska was an early start. Yeah, it was early time-wise and early in the calendar. I was there. Didn't Mike Logan break his arm in that game?
Yes.
Yep, he did.
Memory was. Yep.
He broke his arm. West Virginia, was it Rob Keys?
Yeah.
Jumping up and down in the tunnel.
Yep, pregame. Unfortunately for Mike Logan, that was not the only time he broke his arm. His injury, bad luck throughout college was just, it was so sad. Fortunately for him, he got healthy and had a nice pro career.
Yep. Yeah, well, he had that was the start of the 94 season, but he was basically, I won't say single-handedly because there was a strip involved, but, he won the Boston College game.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Secured it. Absolutely no doubt
Secured
about
it,
that.
and then picked off the final interception as well. Terry in Morgantown, Greg, you mentioned under new rule for spring of 27, theory or not, will there be a day where we will see the end of spring practice altogether?
Well, this is sort of maybe that day. I guess we can get into it now with Terry's question. But what they are proposing, and again, this is a proposal right now because it has not been ratified just yet by the NCAA cabinet, which is supposed to vote on it next month. But the football bowl subdivision oversight committee is recommending that instead of having 15 spring practice sessions like they do now, you just give colleges 21 days in which to hold practices over, I think it's a 7-week or is it a 9-week avenue? And you can do that whenever you want. You don't have to do it just in the spring. So, I think that's a pretty significant change. But it 21 practice sessions and it over normal 27 calendar days. So in other words, you're going to get rid of spring practices as we know it, but that's going to be replaced, and you'll be able to do it a little bit maybe later in the spring into the summer. I think it doesn't say it, but probably spells an end to spring festivals, spring games. I mean, some of those were going away. I don't think there's anything in this rule that precludes that, but sounds like it would change things considerably. What they're trying to model it after is the NFL's OTAs, off-field training activities. But it will be, the ability to have full practice sessions. It doesn't say in here if they all can be padded full contact, because right now in the summer you're allowed so many days and so many hours per week to work with coaches on the field, but none of those can involve any kind of contact drills. So this sounds like it would involve more. So we got to find out a few of the details. But it would change the way spring practices are conducted, and it would, if the rule is enacted, it would start for next year.
Positives, negatives, as you see them?
I think most coaches will see it as positives. I mean, it gives each school the flexibility to do things as they wish. I mean, if you want to hold them early and get them done before the semester ends, that's fine. If you want to push them later and wait towards most everybody is enrolled in your school. So, for instance, at West Virginia, obviously a lot of the newcomers, transfers, or even freshmen were enrolled in January, but you had over a dozen that didn't enroll until May. So you could push some of this back to allow them opportunities to participate, maybe not in all of those drills, but in a lot of those drills, and have some true contact work before you get real preseason camp in August. A lot of it will be sort of like the flex days are used in high school. I don't know if you go quite that late, if you go June, July, but maybe you do, and maybe that's something that they allow. I think the only negative I see is it's just a little different than what we're used to, and it could, again, spell the end of spring games, which I think most people, most in the public like. Coaches don't necessarily like them, but I've always enjoyed them, opportunities to get out there and for everybody, the public, to get a chance to see the team. So I don't see many other negatives with this. I mean, it's, another 6 practices you get. That's a positive in a lot of ways. Adds more to the workload for student athletes, but let's face it, if they're not practicing, they're going through strength and conditioning programs. They're going through other work. So it's not like they get a chance to go home and sleep for those days that they're not working out.
Well, and your last thought is kind of what I'll jump on as well, and that is that if we're going to continue to treat college athletics like professional athletics, and the players are being paid, I think it should model, an NFL type schedule. Let's face it, you're spending a lot of money on certain, individuals, a good chunk of your roster. You're spending the bulk of your money on, so you should be getting a little bang for your buck, and making sure that when the season comes, you've set them up to give you the best return that you can get on your investment.
Yeah, and I do think you need more practice sessions because you have so many more newcomers to your program. I mean, the 15 spring practice sessions are the model that's been in place for, decades. And that model started when kids basically didn't turn over nearly as often. Now, when you have 50 to 75% of your roster is new each year, you need that extra time to be able to work with them to try to get some continuity within the team. So I see it as certainly a positive in that regard. And as you said, I mean, it's more of a work burden on coaches and student athletes, but both sides of that are making a lot of money, a lot more than they used to. And that's the way of the world. I mean, you still need to build in some opportunities for again, student athletes and the staff to have some time off, but
Certainly.
there's still time in there for that.
Yeah, certainly. All right, texter, is Country Roads Trust still a thing? If it isn't, is that a reason WVU has been struggling in football in recent years? I feel WVU doesn't have the means to compete in an NIL world.
No, Country Roads Trust is no longer a thing. West Virginia's basically taken that in-house. The university, most have done it this way. And when you see Golden Blue Enterprises, which is the WVU affiliated group, it's it's not apples for apples, but it's very similar type of situation. And I think West Virginia is fine in terms of NIL when you look at where they are in comparison to most others. Do others have more money? Absolutely. But the NIL gap is not the reason West Virginia has struggled, in my opinion, in football. They've got the money to put together a solid roster. They don't have Texas Tech money. They certainly don't have Alabama or Ohio State money, but you always had some schools with resources more than you. I don't think West Virginia is in a bad situation. I mean, I think if you look at the basketball side of things, with the roster they've been able to put together, they went out and they spent plenty of money to get what they accumulated, and I think Rich Rodriguez has the money he needs in football. Would you like to have more? Who wouldn't, right? But I don't see that as a problem. Travis sure is in tune with this as I am. None of us know the exact number, but I don't see that as a problem.
Well, I think that we're starting to see, I mean, would you not agree that this past recruiting cycle for Rich Rodriguez was probably the best in terms of the funding that we've seen at West Virginia, or at least the ability to spend the money?
Yeah.
Going back, obviously, if you go back and take a step back further, Rich came in late. The portal had already been open too long, had to scrap things together. And then back to the Neil Brown days, I can't even pretend to tell you how much better they are now from an NIL standpoint than they were at the end of the Neil Brown era.
Yeah.
But it's definitely better.
Yeah.
It's definitely better. So, just to the texter, I think you kind of have to throw out the recent year struggles if you're just strictly looking at NIL expenditures and what you've gotten in return for them. I think that you have to wipe the slate clean, and it starts really from this year on.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And again, you just look at this class and West Virginia, look at the guys they brought in. And we'll hear from one of these here shortly because Cam Cook appeared on Three Guys Before the Game, and we'll listen back to that interview that he had earlier this week. Cam Cook, when he hit the transfer market, demanded a very healthy proportion. Michael Hawkins, same thing. And then Rich Rodriguez decided to put a lot of his resources into the high school players. And Kevin Brown, Matt Sieg, Amari Latimer, those guys don't come cheap. So West Virginia was going cheap. They wouldn't have had any of those players. And, we can go up and down and name a bunch of others. All those offensive line that West Virginia is trying to rebuild that group with from the transfer portal standpoint, all of whom were starting offensive linemen at their previous schools. You don't get them without the resources that are necessary to procure them. How much that is, again, I can't tell you exactly. We all sort of hear rumors and have guesstimates, but it doesn't come cheap. So I think West Virginia has put together a good package. You'd like to have more. Yeah. Absolutely you would. But I don't think West Virginia is on the poor side of town.
No, not at all. And I think considering what you have done in the last handful of years, in terms of wins and losses, the trust or, the people doing the ask have done an outstanding job to get that beefed up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're basically selling a dream at this point, right?
Well, and in today's world, you have to do that each and every year. And you have to recruit those people, but you have to have the resources with which to recruit those. So you can't, it's not like you can take this year off and it's just, well, we bought the house. Now we don't have to pay for it anymore.
Yep.
No, that payment comes due every year.
All right, Texter, back on the CarQuest Bowl. The thing I remember about the bowl game against South Carolina is we tried to go air Neyland with a 4-wide offense, and I don't believe it was a success. Yeah, I don't remember it that well. I blocked the losses out for the most part. I will squeeze one in here. Be right back. 6:43. Stay tuned.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
It's good to have options for your family or employees. Rooted in your community since 1979, the health plan is your trusted partner. Get flexible coverage, exceptional support, and competitive rates.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. Fiber is now at your front door and even in rural areas and communities across West Virginia. Thanks to broadband expansion funding, your tax dollars helped make it possible. And CityNet turned that investment into real connections for local families and businesses. Now, you can get blazing fast fiber internet with free installation, free equipment, no long-term contract, and local customer support that's always close to home. Don't settle for slow or no internet for another day. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here with a look at your local forecast. And
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Of course, the LVAD was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
You just never know in this summer on the show where we're going to land more often than not. Who would have thought the 94 CarQuest Bowl when we came in tonight? But, a little research. West Virginia was banged up in the receiver corps that
Yeah, and I know the texter. I mean, Chad Johnson was quarterback. Texter said that it was Air Neyland. And West Virginia, 32 passes for Don Neyland may be on the upper edge of where he normally was, but that was 19 to 32 for Chad Johnson that day for 240 yards. Steve Tannehill actually threw the ball more, 26 of 36, but West Virginia had just two receivers catch a pass that day. Zach Abraham caught 7, Rashawn Vanderpool caught 4. So they were really down in numbers there. West Virginia ran the ball okay, 150 yards, and 132 of them came from Rob Walker. But it was mainly turnovers, 3 turnovers, and couldn't stop South Carolina. They kept building a lead, and West Virginia had to throw it a lot to try to come back. So they probably did throw it more than Don Nehlen would normally have liked, but found themselves down by a touchdown, down by 10, down by 14 so often. They had to do a few things, and then, like I said, the wide receiver situation was pretty banged up for the Mountaineers that day in Miami or South Florida, technically.
So
I guess
Charlotte?
that's not Miami.
Oh, where was that?
It was at Dolphin Stadium.
Oh,
So
that's
that,
right. That's right. That wasn't in Charlotte.
No.
Okay. Here's a question tickled me, Coach Hunter. I'll let you. You're more familiar with the status rankings of the neighborhoods in Morgantown.
Okay.
Texter wants to know, in terms of NIL, what neighborhood in Morgantown would we currently be in? So, Texas, Ohio State, they're living lakefront and Cheat Lake.
Yeah.
So where's West Virginia currently residing?
That's a good one. I like that one. I'm gonna go Old Suncrest. They got some money.
Okay.
But the real rich people have moved out to Cheat Lake, right? So it's
a house with good bones.
Yeah.
Right. Might need a remodel.
I'm not gonna deride Westover or Star City, but those are not the same type of money typically. But so I'll go older area of Suncrest, not the real nice some of the area, but mid-priced, very mid-range, old university money.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
You got one? You're a Bridgeport guy,
I don't.
I don't know my Bridgeport neighborhoods to give you the ability to.
Well, there's one.
It's Bridgeport,
basically. Well, there's different housing divisions, but
yeah.
Aside from that, that you could probably do. We're not South Hills, right? In Charleston, no, probably not. Maybe Upper Canal City.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. And our Charleston people can.
Yeah. I always laughed about that. But several years ago when we did the high school game
at
Lower
George, Canal City.
Yeah. At George Washington.
Yeah.
And people said, just wait till you see the cars that come rolling. And every other car was a Range Rover. Yep. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. They got some money up on this hill.
Yep. Up on the hill. Does WVU have an open scholarship for men's basketball? Also, is there a kid who needs a waiver? Shouldn't that have already been done by now? Will he get the waiver? Thank you.
West Virginia does have an opening. You don't really have open scholarships anymore. You have open roster spots, technically. But yes, West Virginia, you're allowed 15 in men's basketball. Women's basketball, the same for that matter. Mountaineer men's basketball team has 14 right now. And what was the other part of the question?
Is there a player needs a waiver?
Yeah, Javon Buchanan, a transfer from Boise, technically needs a waiver. They haven't announced that that's gone through, but we've seen that these NCAA waivers can take quite a while to happen. All indications are it's going to be fine, and he'll be eligible this coming season. But I guess we've seen other waivers that, it's taken into the season to actually be granted. And nothing else, you go to court and you always win in court.
Yep, for sure. All right, let's see. 304-TALK 304 is the phone number. Texter, Greg in Lake Norman. Guys, speaking of WV radio affiliates, didn't WWVA in Wheeling used to be an affiliate? If memory serves me, I can remember tuning into it and listening to WVU evening basketball games in the mid to late 80s, early 90s here in Charlotte. Also, I think they had an affiliate in Hickory, North Carolina area. They used to broadcast WVU football games too, but you had to drive up to Lake Norman area to pick it up due to the weak signal. I can't speak to the Hickory. But WWVA was a radio affiliate. for Mountaineer football. I'm not sure about I think they may have only done football back in the day. Not sure when that ended. Of course, that's kind of been out of our umbrella for multiple decade plus now.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there is an FM and AM affiliate now in Wheeling for Learfield MSN.
Yeah. Like you said, I mean, a WWVA, big clear channel that can be heard certainly, I don't want to say coast to coast, but across much of the country. I remember traveling. I think there was basketball games that were on because I swear I remember being at a bowl game in Jacksonville, one of the Gator Bowls, early Gator Bowls, and tuning in and finding that to listen to a Mountaineer basketball game because there was no internet back in those days that you could find anything. Yeah, but you know, they always have their big jamboree on Saturday night, so they're not taking that off the air for anything.
Yeah, that was the good old days. I listened to I was at my relative's house in Chilhowie, Virginia, which is not far from Abington and then just up the road from Bristol. And, of course, I think the local closest affiliate would have been Bluefield, most likely.
Yeah.
Somewhere down there. And had to sit in the driveway and listen to it was the end of the Temple game in '84. Remember that?
Yeah.
Temple missed the field goal. West Virginia was offsides.
Yeah. Well, I was at the vet that day, so yeah, I remember that one. Okay, I'll be the old guy, but I do sort of miss those days. And I mean, there's no reason you couldn't do it now, but listening to the various other stations around, not even just games, but you know, my Blue and Gold news when we started it, I mean, it involved late Saturday and Sunday nights and sometimes just all night, right? So you'd tune the dial into WRVA out of Richmond, and they had great sports shows. There was somebody out of New Orleans, I can't remember who, that did recruiting for hours, and that was great. Somebody, I'm sure we have a listener who can remember, was an old Virginia Tech coach. I'll be able to find this real quickly, who did the talk shows at WRVA out of Richmond. And he was just hilarious.
All right, look that up. Steve from Philippi, Coach Hunter, what in the world is going on with the West Virginia-North Carolina basketball game in November?
It's going to happen. That's what everybody says.
What's taking it so long?
I don't know why.
Is Tavita Fanal going to be on the crew? Is that what the holdup is?
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody wants this thing to be instantaneous, and obviously there's a reason they haven't announced it. I don't know the exact reason, but we've had a lot of people that have displayed their angst over that, and every time I ask, they say, "Don't worry, it's going to happen."
All right, very good.
So, we'll see.
All right. Did you find your Virginia Tech guy yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. I'll give you after the break. We'll come right back. Sportsline continues in a moment.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
It's good to have options for your family or employees. Rooted in your community since 1979, the health plan is your trusted partner. Get flexible coverage, exceptional support, and competitive rates.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. High-speed fiber internet is probably at your front door, and now's the time to connect. Your tax dollars helped expand broadband access across West Virginia, and CityNet makes it real. More rural communities in West Virginia can finally get the high-speed internet they deserve. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can trust. So whether you're streaming, working, gaming, or running your business, CityNet delivers the speed and reliability you need. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
All right, straight up 7 o'clock. Welcome back. Sportsline continues. And coming up in just a little while, we're going to have Cam Cook from Three Guys from this past week. We'll take a listen to that as we close out our second hour. And we got an assist from the fans, from the listeners.
I know our people are good.
The texters.
Mm-hmm.
They remembered that Virginia Tech coach that was on the radio, right?
Yep. Chuck No.
Yeah.
Was a really successful coach for the Hokies during one stretch. But then after time at, I think he was VMI, Tech, South Carolina, went on and became a sports talk show host in Richmond at a Clear Channel. And again, back in the glory days of radio when you didn't have other options, and that's what you did while you were driving through the hinterlands, tuned into radio or sitting around and doing anything other activity.
Yep, absolutely. Gary in Vienna. My biggest frustration with MetroNews programming in Parkersburg these days is we only have two programs that are on the air, terrestrial radio, and that's Talkline and Sportsline. I have to use my smart speaker for everything else, including your program this evening. Yeah, Gary, that's the station. That's obviously the affiliate's decision. We always encourage and welcome them, any affiliate, to carry more. But they're in other contracts, and we understand that. So we're glad there's other avenues, including streaming and Metro News Television, for you to check out or watch all Metro News programming. Don of Virginia. Chuck No used to have a sports show on sports, I'm thinking in Richmond, also in Shenandoah Valley near Waynesboro, Virginia. I used to drive and find a spot to listen to WLED from Fisher, speaking of a Metro News affiliate, from the 1960s and 70s.
Those are great stories that people had from back in the day driving. Here's one. We got time. It's Sunday in June or July, whenever it is. I remember talking, I don't think I've given this story before, Dr. Leland Bird, former Mountaineer All-American, basketball player, late 40s, who went on and became athletic director here, ultimately the commissioner of the Eastern 8 for a while as well, but sat down and did a really extensive interview with Dr. Bird at one point. In his later years, he's since passed. And he said, he grew up in deep southern West Virginia, right? And his dad was a basketball coach, and they couldn't, that they had no more idea of how to get to Morgantown than the man on the moon, because before interstate, there's just no way to get here from there.
Yeah, 6-hour trip back then,
exactly. But the year West Virginia won the NIT, so this had been the spring of 42, it was becoming big news everywhere across the state. And he and his dad would drive whatever they were driving up on top of a mountain in southern West Virginia and pick up the broadcast. And this would have even been before Jack Fleming, obviously. Jack didn't come on until, the World War II days, after World War II. And listening to West Virginia in terms of their run to the NIT championship, which at that point in time was basically college's national championship. I don't know if WAJR Morgantown would have been the only station carrying that. That sort of was, I know if you look at the history, it wasn't the first games that were on in the state of West Virginia, but it was sort of the start of the whole network. Was at that point, so they quickly started putting together a network, and WAJR obviously was the flagship for that for many, many years. But I don't know if he had to try to pick up WAJR or what he picked up, but I guarantee you there's thousands of stories like that across the state of West Virginia from that point up until the 80s or 90s when games became commonplace all over.
Yeah, no doubt. It's funny you mentioned it. I'm trying to think back to, I can take you back. This was prior to MetroNews. There were Mountaineer games on the radio in Parkersburg. Probably back then by the old, dial-up Sportsline telephones.
Yeah.
Was probably the distribution system. The satellite... satellite started to become a thing, at least from an audio standpoint, in the late 70s, probably not here until the early 80s.
Well, that's a big thing with MetroNews, right? When they started getting satellite uplink.
Yep.
And that was, what, 84, 85, 86?
85, I believe, was the launch of MetroNews, if I'm not mistaken.
But anyways.
Texter, I haven't had the privilege of living in West Virginia for many years, and I have not missed many episodes of the weeknight or Sunday Sportsline. I love the radio app on the iPhone, says Michael in Massachusetts. Great to hear from you, Michael. Appreciate that. Rod in Greensboro, North Carolina. Hey, guys, Todd Ellis was a part of the great Page Pirate High School teams here in Greensboro that dominated prep sports in the Triad in the mid to late 80s. He played alongside such greats as Danny Manning, NFL All-Pro Haywood Jeffries, and all-time Michigan great Trip Welburn. Ellis is the longtime play-by-play announcer for the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Yeah,
yep,
still does that. You said that, Travis.
Yep, and a lawyer, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what his Wikipedia page says.
All right.
That's never wrong.
Never wrong. Never wrong. All right, 706, appreciate that. I did tease this earlier. This came down Thursday in case you didn't see it. The NCAA Division I Board of Directors have doubled down on the new age-based eligibility rule that has prompted some athletes to go to court in hopes of extending their college careers. The Division I Cabinet, which approved the new rule last month, issued a similar statement after a group of basketball players filed a lawsuit in an Ohio state court contending age-based model unfairly shuts them out of further competition. More lawsuits have been filed across the country since, some of them reportedly with their coach's encouragement. The board statement indicates that they will not budge from their stance as they did in response to Diego Pavia's 2024 court win, in which it granted an additional year to athletes who had competed at non-NCAA schools for at least one season when they were set to complete their eligibility. So basically, not surprised. The NCAA has made this model, and I think they're going to let the lawsuits land where they may. And then, of course, by this time next year, it'll be a moot point.
Yeah. No, but that, as we, the texter alluded to before, Brennan Laurent, Mountaineer from this past year's or last year's Mountaineer basketball team, is one of those sort of, at this point in limbo, waiting to see what the court decision entails, because if he's grandfathered in as one of those, as part of this, and I don't know that he has joined the suit, but obviously he can catch the coattails, but he could get another year of college eligibility. He would fit into that frame if the courts, find against the NCAA. So the NCAA is going to fight this one tooth and nail, but it does impact at least one player with recent Mountaineer past, and who knows? He's not bound to have to come back to West Virginia, but Mountaineers do have a roster spot, and if they get the opportunity, certainly they would welcome him back.
Do you think that he is waiting to see the results of some of these other lawsuits, or is he planning on joining one of them?
Well, I haven't heard that he's going to join one, but I do think he's waiting to see the results. Some of the players who are out of eligibility before this finding, specifically Trace and Eaglestaff, they participated in the NBA Summer League. So old days, that would preclude you from coming back to college. Who knows now? But Brennan sort of stayed out of that and stayed out of signing with any professional teams with the thought that he may get one more collegiate season. So
we know the Ohio State group, they got an injunction.
Yes.
There was one out west, I think, they got an injunction.
Yeah.
If I remember
Colorado.
correctly. Okay. I've not heard anything on the Marshall players.
I have not either. They're part of one as well. So and again, we're coming quickly upon this.
That's the point. We mention this every Sunday, and the weeks are clicking off.
Yeah, and every week it doesn't happen. Again, those players that all of a sudden are given another year, they got to find. It doesn't necessarily mean they can or want to go back to their old home, because who knows if they have a roster spot available. West Virginia does, but not a lot of schools have filled up that. NIL money has been certainly divvied out, rev share money. So how much that is available if all of a sudden you get this new wave of players available for one more season, especially if you keep going to, soon to be August.
Yep, be here before you know it.
Mm-hmm.
John from Cocoa Beach, Florida, formerly of Cape Canaveral, longtime texter to the show, says, I remember driving across the Highland Scenic Highway in Pocahontas County on one beautiful Saturday, a non-WVU football weekend, trying to pick up stations of radio skip. I picked up a good station, and it was the Texas-Oklahoma game on Westwood 1. I kept listening and told my wife, that guy doing the game sounds like a guy who does the statewide Sportsline, Tony Caridi. At halftime, he reintroduced himself and said that it was Tony. My wife looked with a blank stare and said, what's a Tony Caridi?
Well, a lot of people still ask that.
That was a long time ago when Tony was doing Westwood 1 games.
Yeah, before he took over for Jack Fleming, and that would have been 96, right? Yep. Tony would, he'd do Sportsline. He'd do a lot of Mountaineer stuff, but a lot of the weekends he was on the road doing work for Westwood and freelancing.
Certainly was. Funny, John mentioned radio skip. A lot of people aren't familiar with that term, but happens a lot on the AM dial. But occasionally you'll get, usually it's like a sunny day with maybe some wispy clouds and very, very windy.
Really?
Is usually the days that it happens, that at least I've unscientifically have noticed the most. But you'll get what's called FM skip. And you'll hear radio stations from far and far away. First I've heard is Mexico.
Wow.
Sitting in the subway parking lot in Nutter Fort. I've also heard Dallas in West Virginia before. And it usually doesn't last long. It's usually in for about, half an hour, 45 minutes or whatnot. But, that's any old CBers out there, you're familiar with the term skip.
Yeah. Same thing happened with their signals, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good evening, gentlemen. I was living in Northern Virginia in the late 80s, picked up an AM station from Harper's Ferry, and they were talking about some track runner who's going to be the fastest guy ever at WVU named James Jett. I remember adding extra rabbit ears to my radio to pick up extra radio stations.
Little tinfoil on those rabbit ears.
That's right. Yeah, go on the roof and hold the antenna just the right way. Stay up there till the show's over. Travis, I lived in Abington, Virginia in the early 90s. I purchased an FM antenna and connected it to my chimney. I could listen to the Mountaineers and Sportsline clear as a bell on my Sansu receiver from a station in Logan, Williamson, and Bluefield. There were a number of WVU fans down there who discovered that capability, and I passed on that information. That's great. That's great. Yeah, you made... I'm sure some of our listeners remember, when you would get an antenna, you put it on a rotor.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the rotor motors?
Oh, absolutely.
You could turn the dial to the west, and then, that's my old CBer coming out of me because a lot of those antennas were directional. So.
Yeah, well, that's growing up in the country. I mean, there's still no cable out our way. Obviously, satellites have changed the world, but that's the only way we got television signals was... got 3 of them and had to change the rotor to get one of those. And we thought we were a big to-do to when that rotor
CBS pointed towards the DTV.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. My dad sent me up on the roof and didn't really care if I fell off and got killed as long as he got his Packer game. The rare time it was on national TV.
Yeah, that's great. Good memories.
That's you were more the radiophile. I listened to plenty of radio, but I didn't set up antennas specifically to listen to radio.
Well, I remember back in the day, and some of our listeners will remember this, but once you got cable television, the cable systems would actually pass radio stations on the coax. So when you'd go buy an amplifier or receiver, it would have a place where you could screw a coax cable into it. And then you would get out of town. Like growing up in Parkersburg, it was a treat for us because Durfee's Cable or whoever the cable company was back then, we could get WNCI out of Columbus, which was like the big,
you thought you were
175,000 watt radio station, from top of the Nationwide building. And that's, as a pop radio listener back then, that was like, I was in heaven because I could hear WNCI in my living room. So. All right, good stuff. 7:15, we'll take a break. Sportsline continues. Cam Cook on deck. Be right back.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. For years, rural communities in West Virginia waited for reliable, high-speed internet. Now, fiber is most likely at your front door. Public investment helped build the opportunity, and CityNet delivered the service to homes and businesses just like yours. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can count on, switching to fiber has never been easier. Fast downloads, smooth streaming, better connections for work, school, and everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
It's good to have options for your family or employees. Rooted in your community since 1979, the health plan is your trusted partner. Get flexible coverage, exceptional support, and competitive rates.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
The 2026 West Virginia Prep Football Showcase partnered with Coalfields & Company.
The premier program across all classes in the state.
Analysis from Travis Jones and Joe Bricado. See the players and programs shaping the 2026 season. Watch high school football athletes compete in the 40-yard dash, 5-10-5 shuttle, and broad jump. Streaming live July 25th on MetroNews Television, YouTube, and Facebook.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
The health plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cava GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thorold.
All right, Cam Cook coming up in just a couple of minutes from three guys from earlier this week. Couple more texts here. We hit on everybody loves to reminisce.
Sure.
I do as well. Talking about folks from far away getting stations they shouldn't in their location. I recall a story told to me by John McKinney, longtime MSN engineer. He told me when he forgot to lower the power on WAJR, he would get a call from someone in Nova Scotia that was hearing 1440 on their radio in their kitchen. Yeah, we actually have AM stations. Obviously, there are some that are, full power all the time, but most have to lower power. And used to be on WAJR, if you didn't lower power, you'd get a call from a station, I believe in upstate New York, that would call and say, could you please lower power so we can hear our station on our monitor in the studio?
Making people mad in New York.
Exactly. I was told a story from someone who would drive up to the mountain to be able to listen to the Reds after our local station had switched to carrying the Braves. Sometimes I joke about parking in a tunnel in order to not hear the Reds. Classic. All right. And Sam writes in, when we first got cable in Clarksburg in the early 70s, we could listen to WDTV and KDKA out of Pittsburgh. There you go. That was one of the
stuff.
Yeah, one of the great things about cable back in the day. All right, Cam Cook with the boys on Three Guys. Of course, nation's leading rusher a year ago, and Tony asked him if the fact that that's mentioned every time his name comes up now has dawned on him.
I have. I mean, that's something I really appreciate. I like that. I mean, I worked hard to do that, so I'm glad to get the recognition,
Here's the deal, dude, and I hope you do it again this year here, but, that'll still never go away. That's a tattoo. No matter what, in 25 years, when you're working somewhere, they're going to be Cook, who led the nation in rushing, right? It doesn't go away. That's nice.
Well, that's a pretty good thing to stick with you. If something's going to stick with you, that's pretty good. Led the nation in rushing.
Yeah. How you been? This summer is going quick, and like we said, practice starts, but practice hasn't stopped. We're going to scoot you out of here in the not too distant future because you guys are on the field coming up again this afternoon. How's this summer been going for you? Have you enjoyed the work?
Yeah, I've definitely enjoyed it. Definitely different experience. Coach Richard want to play fast, so we're out. It's the most conditioned I've ever done in my life.
You feel good.
For real. But I mean, we get through it as a team, so just knowing that you got your guys there with you, it makes that stuff easier. So
how do you know, right now as we're sitting here, how do you know you're in great shape right now? What's your body telling you, or what signals do you get to go I'm really good shape?
This is the heaviest I've been. In my whole college career, this is the heaviest I've been, and this is the fastest I've been. I was fast last year. I was fast, in high school, but we have our GPS. We wear our GPSs every day. for practice, and the speeds that I've put up are the fastest I've ever gone. And then we do trainings here, like something I've never done before is called overspeed training, where it's like you put a harness on, and it's instead of like it pulling you like backwards, it's gonna pull you like towards it to make you run faster. So your body gets used to like that speed. And
so if you don't, you're getting dragged.
It's not gonna drag you that much. It bears like 3 pounds, I guess. It's barely pulling you, but just that little bit of a difference can make like you run from a 21 to a 23. Like
that's what he was going to ask.
I was just going to ask. Okay, so what was the mile per hour? What's your top speed?
So my top speed that I've hit so far was a 22.6.
That's
nearly 23 miles an hour.
That's a speeding ticket in most developments.
He's in a residential neighborhood. He's getting tickets.
That's
going through a school zone. He's got a problem.
You're going to get a ticket. Yeah. Okay. Have you? So 40 time wise, you've been laser timed in the past.
Yes. So I got laser. I ran a 4.46, and then. Well, I'll say I ran a 4.48 and then I ran a 4.46. But like other combine drills, like my 5.10.5, I ran a 3.98, which I'm pretty sure that's like elite, like top speed, like on change of direction. And being a running back, I do take pride in my change of direction.
Yeah.
So
it's a good thing for a running back to have a change of direction. You said your weight is up as big as you've been. So right now, what are you weighing?
I try to go in at 203, 204 before practice, like so I can keep that weight up, you know.
What'd you play at last year at Jack State?
I was 200. Like I'll try to weigh 201 before the game.
How big of a difference was it when you got here with how they run the strength and conditioning in the program here?
Well, like I said, the conditioning wise was a lot different. Strength, I feel like strength, how you lift. We target more, like more areas. Like we do balance stuff. Like I go in every day. I'm gonna do some balance work. I'm gonna do some core work, because that's like the base of what you need to play football. So, I feel like there's more of a focus on like the certain specific things. You know,
the whole picture, putting the whole thing together. Yeah.
Let's back up here a little bit and talk about. So you came out of high school, went to TCU for your first year. In fact, you played West Virginia before when you were at TCU. Then to Jack State. Then of course on to West Virginia. What was it about West Virginia specifically that when you entered the portal, you said, "All right, that's where I'm headed"? Why was it West Virginia?
So I'll say I definitely looked into like the past history of like how they play, what style they play, because that was something I didn't look into when I first got to TCU. Like when I was a freshman or when I was a senior in high school, like I wasn't looking for like what kind of play style fit me, like what was good for me. I was just, this was close to home. Like I could be around my family still and still ball out. But that, I didn't think at the end of the day, I didn't think that that play style had fit how I wanted to play. So going into the portal the first time, that's something I looked at, and you see, I went to Jack State, and it definitely fit me. It fit me a lot. And this is a similar scheme. Just we play fast too, want to run the ball, and then, Coach Trickett came.
We're into Coach Trickett early. I knew we'd get here, but yeah. So you have said before that was a big part of your decision-making process was Coach Trickett was here. So go ahead, continue on that.
So I just say Coach Trickett, the way he coached and the way he like was so hard on our O-line. Everybody was gonna do their job. You didn't have to worry about nobody. Like everybody was gonna go out there and put their best foot forward, regardless. They try not to get yelled at. Like he's going to yell at you. He's gonna yell at me. Like he's gonna yell at everybody there. So you just
whoever's close.
You want to do whatever you can to be right around him. So just that environment that he instilled, and then being like his group of guys is gonna want to love the game. Like when you around people that love the game, you can't be around Coach Trickett and not love football. I'll tell you that. So I mean, it means a lot to me. That meant a lot to me to get me to come here too.
Yeah, so he's a big part of it. So let's stay on that theme, because he's got two of your guys that are here as well, and Cam Griffin and Bubba Grayson. So tell us what they bring to the table, what their connection is with you, and how important they are to your game.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely were some guys I would lean on last year. Like they knew what I was going through, and I knew what they were going through. So just being able to have them here like meant a lot too. And they bring that like that energy that we had last year. They bring that here, which like we got a bunch of dominant guys here, and so just having like both sides like be able to like use each other to grow, like I think that means a lot. Because like I said, we were working out different than we work out here, and these guys is working out different than we work. So just being able to like build together, like, and show like, oh, we were doing this, y'all were doing this, we can like be great like if we work together on this. So I think just being able to have everybody together like that means a lot.
Cam, Tony mentioned your numbers, but let me dig deeper into these numbers. Last year, 295 carries, 1,659 yards rushing, average 5.6 yards per carry, 16 touchdowns, a long of 73, 30 catches, 286 yards, 9.5 yards per catch. Total yards just under 2,000 yards. Last year, 100 missed tackles forced. 100 missed tackles forced. 53 carries of 10 yards or more. What's the key to breaking tackles?
The key to breaking tackles?
Yes. Because I've seen your highlights. Sometimes you run around people. Sometimes you run past them. Sometimes you run through them.
Right. I say for me, it's setting them up at the beginning of the play. Like I know I got to get to a certain point, and if the defender knows where I'm going, I need to be able to set him up a certain way. And just being able to like know where you are, like know where everybody is on the field. I feel like it's easy for me to make somebody miss just because if they think they know where I'm gonna be at, that's the problem. Like we're in itself. Like if you try to beat me to a spot, okay, I'm not gonna go to that spot no more, or I'm gonna do whatever I can. But that goes back to like balance too, like my balance, my core that I'm like worked on, that I've been putting in so much like work too. So being able to like bounce off a hit and stay balanced, or take a hit and not fall down, put my hand down, keep my eyes up so I could still look and be able to move around, know where the next person is. Like it's always about the next guy. You can't be a top running back or a top any skill player on offense. You can't be a top skill player in D1 football and you can't make the first guy miss. So that's what I pride on.
So, all right, let's go through that. So Hoppy just said you can do all of it. You can run away, you can run around, you can run through. If you had to pick one of those, what's more satisfying? The run away, the run through, or juke somebody? You can only pick one.
I like breaking people down. Like I like juking people. But like I said, I'll do what I have to do.
Do what you have to do. But you'd pick juke if you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you always carried the football when, from the littlest start of the game, you were always the guy that was going to handle it?
Yeah, so about that, so I'll say I started football when I was 3 years old. Or
Three?
Yeah, 3 years old. Like I was playing, like it's called Mighty Might football.
How many carries were you getting at age 3?
He complained about that. 3 years early. I need more carries. Let's go.
Right. So I think when I first started, like, that's when you're just getting into sports. I was just getting into baseball, just getting into football, just getting into track. But it was like that first year, you just get thrown out there. So I got put out on a team. My dad took me out to the field. He was like, "You gonna play football?" So he took me out. He took me out to a field,
like throwing you in a pool.
And I was on this team. And I was just standing out there, like I wasn't doing nothing. I was just watching everybody move. Like I didn't have no friends. I was just standing there. So he picked me up and he walked me off the field. He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do something about this." So the next year we came out. He was the head coach.
So you redshirted then. When you were 3, your dad gave you a red shirt.
Yeah.
Brought you back when you were 4, and you started to tote
And then
the
how'd
rock.
that go? Did you get it when you were 4? Like, did you jump right in?
Yeah, I mean, I think he knew that I wanted to like get the ball. He knew I wanted to be like the main player on the team, but he didn't like he would make sure that everybody was still like getting the ball. Like it wasn't just like, hand the ball off to Cam. But if you go look at my highlights, that's what it looked like. It looked like he was just handing it to me, and I'm just
we got to get some
running all through there.
Highlights.
Can you send us some of those? Can we get some 4-year-old Cam Cook highlights?
Well,
it's
on YouTube.
Well, guess
it is. Hold on,
go,
Hoppy. Hold on.
Well, I was going to say, guess what? It's going to look a lot like that again there with Rich. Rich and your dad have one thing in common: like feed the dude that gets me yards.
If it works, it's coming back to you.
It's going to come back. So, when you watch your tape from last season compared to when you were a freshman, do you notice and I'm going to put you into third person here. Do you notice a Cam Cook that is smarter today with what he's understanding of how to play this game?
Yeah, way smarter. Like as a freshman, you're basically still in high school trying to run the ball. Like you think you could run around everybody. You think you could just go out there and be better than everybody just off of pure talent.
Right.
But it's more than that to the game. Knowing, like I'll say now, I know defenses. I know how, like even with pass pro, I know how when people where we're out on the field matters. Like if we're on the hash, I got to look at different stuff to who to pick up. I might have to pick up a corner, but that's not normal. You know, not everybody can just do that as a freshman. So if you're not thinking about that, then you're not going to be able to do it. And so now I'll say I'm constantly thinking about so many things during a play. There's so many things. If the play gets switched to a pass play, now there's a whole bunch of things that I need to look at. So just being able to break down the game from the D line to the linebackers to where the safeties are at. Like if they're on the hash, it matters. The corners could come. I know a lot more now than I did as a freshman.
And I would imagine that at least early this spring, until Rich told Zach Alley to back it on down, you were seeing people just constantly flying, right? You probably learned a ton.
Our defense moves around a lot. It's definitely one of the most movement teams I've been around, you know?
So if you were a running back on the other team getting ready to play West Virginia, when Zach's going to be able to put all of his cards out there, what challenges does that present for a running back?
Wait, am I just gonna? I can't give away
No.
I'm
saying
don't give away secrets.
No. I'm saying in a generic sense, if I'm a
Yeah.
running back and I'm watching film that week getting ready to play West Virginia, what would make you worry?
I say the movement of the backers. Like you don't know what they're about to do, and then our D line does some stuff too that how they fit. So, that mixes it up. And then if you're in the boundary, good luck. If you're in the boundary, good luck. That's all I can say.
So it makes your keys more difficult because they're moving around as an offensive player?
Yeah,
You're not quite sure. Yeah, they're not in the same spot, right?
Yeah.
All right, conversely, flip that around then. The tempo that we run offensively kind of neutralizes that, right? That's part of the point. The defense can't get itself moving all over. It's got to set and get ready to go.
Yeah, no, we definitely, like I said earlier, we pride on he want us to be the most conditioned team. So we're going to move the ball fast. We're you need to run the ball in. That is how it's so important to move keep the pace up. You don't want the defense to get set. And the defense can do whatever. If you drop the ball, the defense can do stuff to slow y'all down on purpose to catch their breath.
Mhm.
And we want to keep them on their toes the whole time. So
All right, 7:36, listening in to Three Guys with Cam Cook. We'll have more when we come back right after this.
The WVU Cancer Institute is transforming cancer care in West Virginia and beyond. The state's top doctors deliver compassionate care and treatment using leading-edge technology and innovative research for patients facing colorectal cancer. From screening and early detection to advanced treatment and survivorship support, we're here for you every step of the way. Call 855-WVU-CARE.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. Fiber is now at your front door and even in rural areas and communities across West Virginia. Thanks to broadband expansion funding, your tax dollars helped make it possible. And CityNet turned that investment into real connections for local families and businesses. Now, you can get blazing fast fiber internet with free installation, free equipment, no long-term contract, and local customer support that's always close to home. Don't settle for slow or no internet for another day. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniel's.
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
For over 20 years, Dan Cabot Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Visit Dan Cabot Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
And we continue on with Cam Cook from Three Guys Before the Game from this past week. A podcast available anywhere you get your podcast.
I'm still trying to find, Cam, those highlights of you, but I'm a little bit leery of Googling children playing football. I don't want to get in trouble. But look, like last year in your games, 31 carries, 29 carries, 27 carries, 25 carries, 25 carries. Man, that is a load. How did your body hold up with almost 300 carries?
I mean, I definitely felt the carries, but I mean, it didn't mean nothing to me. I think before the season had started, I had talked to those coaches, and they told me what it was going to be. So I had locked in on just making sure my body was ready for that, making sure I was prepared for that. So just making sure after every game, stay in the training room, stay in there, make sure I get my body back to 100. And then one thing about what we were doing last year is we'll come back from the game and we'll run. We'll run after the game. So maybe
after the game?
Maybe not the day of the game.
Right next day.
But the next day we'll be out there running, moving is nothing happened almost. So just for me, being able to just as long as I'm still moving, as long as I'm consistently moving, I'll be okay. I can.
But how long does it take? All right, you carry the ball 30 times, and the next day you're out running or wherever. But how long does it take in that game week for you to feel pretty normal, or do you feel pretty normal very quickly?
I'm probably feeling 100% on Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay. Have you ventured into all of those equipment items they have here? That stuff is to punt, using the punt. That's game changing stuff. That'll make you feel like, whoa. Have you messed with it at all?
Yeah, I have. We just got a sauna room installed. I feel like we're getting new stuff a lot, but yeah, we got the sauna. I've tried the cryo.
What do you think of the cryo? You like it? Don't like it?
Yeah, I like cryo. It's if you don't want to get in the ice tub, it's something real quick you could do. But I'd rather just go get in the ice tub and then get in the hot tub and then get back in the ice tub.
What about the depth perception thing, where they lock you in there?
I don't think I've done that one before.
You got to do that one.
That's something.
These guys say that when you do that night, you sleep like off the chart, like a baby.
Perception.
Yeah.
What is that? What is
I don't think you don't mean depth perception.
I mean, what the heck's it called? It's called something perception.
Because I know we had the salt tank.
The salt. Okay, salt tank.
Okay.
You done the salt tank?
He's getting the words wrong here.
Yeah, the salt tank. I've tried it before. I haven't tried the one here, but where you just sitting in it and you just float.
Yeah. Float tank.
Yeah, float.
I should have
tank.
said float tank. I don't know where the hell depth perception came out. Hey, float tank.
Yeah, no, I haven't done one here, but I've been in one before.
What about the bed?
Red light.
The red light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Why not?
I don't know. I mean, there's no reason. There's no reason I couldn't. But I mean, I feel like if I get in the, it's just like getting in a hot tub for me. You know, I'll just go get in the tub or go get in the or getting in the cryo. Like I'd rather just go get in cryo in the hot tub. Like
sensory deprivation.
That's what I meant to say. Sensory deprivation is the salt tank.
That's what it's called.
I'm gonna go in salt tank from here on in. Just salt tanks.
I mean, they put salt, a lot of salt in it, which makes you float. So I just call it a salt.
Yeah, salt tank.
So I was name drop. I was with strength coach Nick Meadows earlier today, and he was talking about all the stuff they do, and you mentioned the GPS tracking. So did you have that at Jack State? And what do you get? Like, what are you getting from that? I mean, he was telling me all this data that you get, that he can get on players during practice that they use. In fact, use it during practice for maybe load management or something. Are you getting any benefit from that? Does that work
for sure. I mean, if you like at the end of the practice or the next day, they'll pull up a chart and it shows you when was the last time you hit your top speed. So or it'll say a percentage of your top speed. So like sometimes it'll say like, oh, it's been like 2 days, but it might have been a weekend, or it'll say 3 days, just Monday. And for like skill guys, you want to consistently be hitting your top speed or percentage of your top speed, because if you want to run fast, you need to consistently run fast. So it just shows you that. It shows your efforts. It shows you like how much you change direction.
Really?
Yeah, like anytime you change direction, and it's like an explosive effort is what it's called. I was trying to think of the word explosive effort. Anytime you show an explosive effort, it'll pull up and it'll show that. But it also tracks how much yards you do. So some guys have 5,000 yards at the end of a practice. Some guys have 4,000 yards at the end of a practice. So you could tell who was doing more, who was running more. So I mean,
does it help you? Does that data help you, or you get overwhelmed by all the data?
I mean, I definitely pay attention to like I'm definitely gonna look at the top speed. I'm definitely gonna look at the explosive efforts and how many days it's been since I've ran fast. So, I mean, those definitely mean something to me. But the other ones is definitely a lot of numbers on there.
So I think Hop with that is actually the strength staff downloads all the data.
Right.
They form a whole thing, and then they report that to the coach and go like, "Hey, coach, these guys are starting to get a little bit tired because collectively we're doing this. We're down here. We need to add this. They're not. So they're going to the coaches, and that's how they're adjusting practice based on the data.
So but Cam's pretty in tune with that. I mean, if you're listening to him talk here, I mean, you're pretty in tune with some of this stuff.
Yeah, I also forgot to say about the heart rate. They can check your heart rate, see like who's actually working hard. Like you could be running, if we're running suicides and we got to run across the field and back, and you're running them and you're making the time, but your heart rate's not up. You're not working hard. Like, then somebody else could be running the same, making it the same time as you, and their heart rate is high and they're breathing hard. So it definitely shows you like who's working, and I mean that means a lot in what we're doing right now.
What do you like to get? What's max heart rate for you when you're?
Oh, I mean, I don't. The heart rate doesn't show to us. It shows to the strength coach. Yeah. So. I mean, they'll know, and then they'll come talk to you about it.
Yeah, and the sleep as well is huge. I mean,
yeah.
You sleep better now than you did when you were a freshman? Do you understand the value of sleep now?
Yeah, I mean, our schedule definitely helps with that, too. Like, we'll start at 10 o'clock, and then I'm going till, 5:30. Like, that's the summer. It'll probably change in a couple of days when fall camp start, but I'm passing out at like 10 o'clock right now.
Shutting it down.
Yeah, and then I'm waking up. I'm waking up to the sun. Like I don't have to wake up to an alarm. So
Does the dog wake you up?
Nah, he'll lay there. My dog will actually lay there until you get up. He's lazy.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And we're walking the dog or jogging with the dog? Does your dog like to walk?
He likes to walk, but he can't walk for real. Like,
What do you mean?
He like the Frenchies, they can't be outside that long. So I gotta make sure he don't overheat. Like he'll get to breathing hard. We just walk around the house real quick.
Is this your first Frenchie that you had?
This is my first Frenchie, but I've had actually we have a lot of dogs right now, like as a family collective. So I started off with, we have a boxer at the house, a big boxer. Her name's Callie, and when we got her a sister, which is a mini golden doodle.
Good dogs.
Yeah, she's a real good dog. Like she'll listen, do anything you ask her.
Yeah.
Like, and then when I got to TCU, I got my dog Tank, my Frenchie. And so he's been with me since my college
So Tank
career.
has been in the portal
Tank's
too.
been in the portal twice.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. He's been through a lot. But so I got him, and then recently, I think 6 months ago, maybe my little brother got a Frenchie and my dad got a Frenchie. So and they both got girls. So my dog is the only boy in the house out of 4 dogs.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
This is a dog family, man.
Look at this picture.
You got to be a dog. I mean,
They're good looking dogs, man.
Yeah.
Big ears.
Keep it in the house, man. It's hot. It's hot. 3 guys before the game.
All right, to Cam Cook on 3 Guys Before the Game. One more quick segment. We come back on the Sportsline.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. High-speed fiber internet is probably at your front door, and now's the time to connect. Your tax dollars helped expand broadband access across West Virginia, and CityNet makes it real. More rural communities in West Virginia can finally get the high-speed internet they deserve. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can trust. So whether you're streaming, working, gaming, or running your business, CityNet delivers the speed and reliability you need. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
It's good to have options for your family or employees. Rooted in your community since 1979, the health plan is your trusted partner. Get flexible coverage, exceptional support, and competitive rates.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discovered tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Few minutes remaining here. Let's grab a couple more minutes with Cam Cook.
Tell us about the room a little bit. Let's talk about some of the other guys. Give me a little bit on Latimer, what makes him good. Give me Boswell. What do you like about the other guys in the room?
So I'll start off with Amari. He definitely got like he's real knowledgeable as being as young as he is right now, and then definitely got the body. If you look at him, you could tell he's meant to play running back.
He does not look like a freshman.
No, not at all. And then I try to make sure, like, keeping him, like, near me, like, when we work out, like, when we're doing, even I wouldn't say out of school, but, like, outside of football, like, when we're doing workouts, I'm trying to make sure he's with me, so just making sure we're on the same page. But I say, like, he is definitely, like, far along, like,
mature beyond his years.
Yeah, mature for sure. And then Boz got some crazy speed. Like, I'll say, like, you wouldn't understand how he's moving like that, like how fast he's moving for real. Like, just it looks so natural. Like, you couldn't even teach somebody to run how he running. Like, he's just running, like, for real. And like, he's an explosive guy. So that's just another, like, having so many different, I'll say, even say Tally and the other backs that we got in the room are some quick backs. Like, we all bring a certain thing to the table. Like, and being able to have so many different styles of play, like, everybody got their own different style of play. I wouldn't say nobody in the room is similar at all.
Mm-hmm.
Tally was Chris Tally, freshman.
Right. How similar to what they ran at Jack State are you running here offensively?
Scheme wise, it's real similar. I'll say, like, with the outside stuff that we got and the inside stuff. And then they definitely gonna block up front, like, similar, the same, basically. So I say it's pretty similar if I were to say anything. Yeah.
At Jack State, they'd have you in motion. They'd move you out to slots sometimes. Is that the same here?
Yeah, definitely. We got a couple plays where I'm motioning into the backfield and or motion into the backfield and just run a whole new play. Like, it don't got to just be a motion across. Like, just being able to move me outside. That's something that they said when they were recruiting me. They were like, oh, we're going to make sure we move you around. Like, it's a lot similar to what you were doing already. So just them telling me that before and seeing it on the field meant something to me. So, I mean, being able to do something that you're used to is good.
So because you were used to that is what this offense is going to do. Does that feel like you got it completely? You're like, okay, I got it. I see. I know. Is that how you feel now, or you still need more work on that part?
I'll say, I like you said, the first thing. I feel like I came in as soon as I got here. I tried to, like, go on my way to, like, really learn everything, but it was real similar to what I had already known. So I just jumped right in. It was real easy for me to get going. So I'll say, basically.
Okay, all right.
You obviously, as we said at the start, you've got the bullseye on your back because every opposing defense that comes against you this year is going to go, okay, that's the guy that led the nation last year in rushing. Let's go get him. What individually you want to prove as you return to Power 4 this year? What's on your agenda?
Really, to me, something I want to prove is just last year I wasn't on nobody's radar. So, and I went and did, like, whatever I did. This year, I'm on everybody's radar. I want to be able to do the same thing. Not even the same thing, but maybe even do more. Like I said, you said I got a target on my back. Basically, with the target on my back, what can I go do now? I want people to see that.
Mm-hmm. Because the great ones like, oh, yeah, come here, bring it.
Yeah.
I got you. How good do you think this team can be?
I think we could be great. Like, just there's, like, being able to everywhere everybody's moving so fast, you got to really be, like, on top of your game to move that fast. You can't have no mistakes. So just as much work as we putting in, like, where everybody is going to be locked in on what they're doing, I feel like we're going to be a great team.
This offensive line has some options, right? I mean, there's multiple guys that can be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, and then there's multiple packages where they could be in there too.
He's getting greased up now. He got a few carries now. He's playing the game right now to give a little tease right there.
You're going to be on the side. You're going to be all set on the sideline when Rich has got those 11 offensive linemen out there giving the ball one of those. What's the thing that's caught you about Rich? He's getting close to 200 wins, which hasn't been done a whole lot in college football. So watching him in the spring, watching him now here in the summer, why do you think he's had success?
I'd say he has success because of how real he is. You can't be around him and do something wrong and not know it. Like, soon as you do something wrong, you're gonna know right away, and that means so much to me because I've been around people that will let you do something they don't like, and they'll just turn their head, and you're just doing it wrong. So being able to know, like, even if I'm doing something wrong, I try not to do nothing wrong, really. but knowing that he's gonna tell you right away, I don't like that, or you need to do it this way. This is why I want it this way. And being able to, he'll explain it too. He'll make sure you know why. He'll bring everybody in together. Like, we'll have offensive meetings. He'll be like, you need to break at the top of your route. Everybody needs to break at the top of the route. The running backs need to know how to break at the top of their route, because he want everybody to know why we're doing it, like why we're doing what we're doing. So, and that's also goes back to like running the ball and why we're doing it. He wants us to be the most conditioned team. He wants us to be moving faster than they can move. So I say just that's really it. Like, him telling you what he wants, and he's going to tell you if you're wrong right away. That meant the most to me.
All right, Cam Cook, 3 Guys for the Game. Check out the complete episode 728, available at WDVMetroNews.com, or video on the Metro News television app at a time for this Sunday night. I'm out next week. Coach Hunter will be alongside with Joe Bro. I'll be back with you guys in 2 weeks. By then, camp will be underway.
Yeah, right after football is gone.
Sounds good. Talk to you then. Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the Metro News Radio Network. All rights reserved.